Hi everyone, this is Bullseye handicapping. I'm at a house and uh, have derby fever, you know. And one of the things that I know is really important to do when you're playing the horses game we all love called horse racing, gambling is you got to have a certain mofo Joe that you have to maintain during the process. And I've always done this. I've always energized. Get up, get out, get energized. And I've always energized, and I've always energized to music. So I was going to give a display of that a little bit. Yeah, so it's get up, get out, get energized. And I've been doing that for 30 years. Also been playing the race for 50 years. So during that time, what I do is I dance. And I use these lights when I dance. And I basically am shaking up my body and um, getting, as I call my mojo going. And I think doing a physical activity, um, doing some kind of physical activity when you're playing is, is very important. And also just doing, because you have to do so many other things when you're playing besides handicapping. You want to pass this races. Bullseye handicapping is about passing races. So what do you do in between? I normally don't play the beginning of the card, so I don't have to worry about that. So far, uh, before I went into this Bullseye handicapping, what I would do Saturdays, Saturday is the one day that we all love to play. It's Super Saturday. Forget about the Triple S and Super Saturday on Saratoga. But Saturday is the day that we all love to play. For me, I call it the prom. The other days of racing are the dances, but the the prom of racing is Saturday. I personally, with my approach, which is again bullseye handicapping, I just want to play on one day a week, and that's Saturdays. Because I'm playing for 50 years. I've played 2,500 races a year, and been playing those 2,500 races a year for 50 years. So my new goal over the last 6 years has been, to bring that to 5%, which is about 50 races versus 2,500 races. And that took me 6 years to do. A lot of dancing too, a lot of dance now. But why I dance now is that I said if I could sit there and handicap for 6 hours, I can also dance for 6 hours. So that's what I do now. Fulfill my time. So again, I'm not handicapping. You guys are out there handicapping, putting your pick threes together, putting your pick fours together, daily doubles, constructing your bets. I don't know if you're playing more than one track. I try never to play more than one track, and actually because I'm reducing races and only playing on Saturdays and only playing races that wow. And what do I mean by that is that during the experience, you have a soul sense that, man, I see something, I think. Because remember, a horse player can always find a reason to play a race. We can always, all we got to do is open the racing form, we're going to find a reason to play a race. And so that's easy for us. The hard thing is to find ways not to play and to pass races. That's the kung fu. The kung fu is to pass races, not to play races. But we think that we have to play races. Play. I want more. There's a song out there called I Want More. And that's a horse player, unfortunately. We just, the game of horse racing, we just can't have enough. Most players play 4 to 5 races a day, right? So, say 3 to 5, let's say 5 races a day. times 5 days, that's 25 races a week. My approach is you just play one race a day and you zoom in your whole bankroll on that one race. Most people, it took me 6 years to get to doing that, and a lot of sitting out and watching. Like today, even though I might see something, might look at something today, because it's Saturday and I give myself the privilege to play on Saturday. You know, again, I'm not playing the whole first, I'm not probably playing till 5 o'clock. So there's no urgency. So it's doing things that, I just came from the karate studio. Now I'm doing my thing, which is, this is called poi dancing. And I'm just basically, again, like I said, energizing. One thing you got to know is that horse playing is not the dog. So we have to get rid of that fire in us. Because as soon as we open up a racing form, or we think it's a prom day, we're on fire. So how do you get yourself from not being on fire so you can actually play the game right? You got to do some kind of physical activity. You got to get up. You got to get out. You got to get energized. You also have to have a black belt in detachment. You don't have to sit there for the whole 8 hours. You don't, people think that they're glued to that chair and they got to stay there from 10 o'clock till 7 o'clock. No. If you're being selective and just playing the playable races, you don't have to do that. You can actually do other things. You can't make, even though horse racing is everything to you, you can't make it that way. You have to be, kind of like a tease. You gotta go in just for a little bit and just for a little more. But you can't. No. Oh, I gotta play 3 to 5 races. No. You gotta ask yourself, how many races do I play that I wish I didn't play? How many races did you play that you wish you didn't play? Unfortunately, it's thousands. It's about, it could be half of the races that you're playing. You say, what the fuck did I do? Why was I even playing that race? I don't get it. I don't get why I was playing that race. It just makes no sense whatsoever, but I'm going to play it anyway. That's our destruction. Our destruction is in our desire to play too many races. Our desire to play race after race after race after race. I watch some of the shows, and I watch them because of the fact that I want to remind myself, I don't want to fucking do that. I don't want to play like that. And I watch show after show. Again, another distraction. Instead of thinking, I got to handicap all these races. No. Mating claimants, races with no information, races where you have no opinions, races that you think you have to play because you want to play a pick 3. There we go. The Bullseye handicapping is just playing the race, only the race. And that's good because it's contrarian. It's contrarian in the sense of the fact that you guys are always looking for the winners. I'm not looking for the winners. Yesterday, I was just looking over things, and it's about looking at a race and then saying, getting wowed. You get wowed. Did you get wowed? If you don't get wowed by a race, you shouldn't even be going any further. Remember, your desire is to keep going further, but you don't want to do that. You want to do the opposite. If you feel, there was a great quote by the late Mike Pizzola. If you're gonna stand, stand. If you're gonna sit, sit. But don't wow. That's the problem is most people, they wobble and yet they continue. No, as soon as you get the first indicator of a wobble, it's I'm done. I'm not doing this no more. Move on. And if throughout the whole day you find nothing, you close it all up and you shut down and you go watch a movie or you go rollerblade or you go do whatever you want to do. But because tomorrow's another day. Unfortunately, horseplay doesn't know tomorrow's another day. They think they're dying tomorrow and they gotta play all these races today, which is fucking insanity. which unfortunately is the definition of a horse player. An insane motherfucker. And I mean, look at me. Look at me. I'm poi dancing because of the fact that I'm a horse player, full of tremendous anxiety, playing all those races that I shouldn't have played. You know, again, it's no different than going in the ring with Mike Tyson over and over again, expecting a different result. Mike Tyson's gonna fuck you up. So you gotta, Bullseye handicaps about being selective. Only play races that wow you. Only play races that wow you. That's it. Don't just play races to play races. You'll be an automatic loser. So let me take a break for a second. Put on some music. Relax for a minute. Have another problem. Yeah, so again, get up, get out, get energized, get out of that chair, you know. Um, get out of the horse racing bubble for a little while, right? So I'm switching things up. Come back to get up, get out, get energized. You know, again, it's all about you know, uh, getting a mojo, you know, especially this time of year. Kentucky Derby is right around the corner. Um, and you normally play on Saturdays. You know Saturday's the day you play. But what if I'll give you permission. You don't have to play today, or you can just play a little bit. You know, just get a taste and then get out. Do other things. If you're a young dude, spend time with your family, spend time with your wife, spend time with your friends, because the consequences are brutal if you don't. It's playing our game, the game we love, called horse racing. It can be brutal if you don't manage it. You got to always ask yourself the question: did I come to play? Did I come to gamble? Or did I come to win? I came to have enjoyable horse racing experiences and win a little bit of money so I can continue to play. Start there. You know, when you're younger, you have more of a bankroll. You can do a lot of things. But when you get, I'm 70, when you get older, you got to do it right. And doing it right means, having a black belt in the art of restricting, having a black belt in the art of restriction. That's what I put you, huh? Have a black belt in the art of, and then, of course, restriction. Big guy. Yeah. I was just thinking, I have a friend, he's a guru in karate, Rick Hasbrook, and he loves playing this time of year. If this video gets to you by any chance, Rick, that would be great, and it'd be love to BS with you. That's one thing about it. It's kind of, horse players are lonely people. We spend, when you go into the horse race bubble, it's not like the horse race bubble has any doors. There's no doors in it. I mean, you lock everybody else out of it. Your friends, your wife, your girlfriend, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your nieces, your nephew, everybody, your grand. So you got to know that. You got to know when you close that bubble and you're in that bubble. Like today's Saturday, right? Super Saturday, prom day. One of the prom days. Actually, next week is the prom, but this week is like, but for everybody, it's still prom day. It's Saturday. It's the day where we get energized and elevated just because it's Saturday. Compare that to Monday. I call Monday mundane Monday. I call it mundane Monday because of the fact that people can't play. You can't play the races. You can't exercise your addiction. You can't exercise your desire to want to play the races. You can't, you know. But Wednesday comes, boom, you're right into it. You put 2 to 5 races, Thursday, Friday. For me, it's just Saturday. Again, because I'm an out of control horse player. An out of control horse player who has to get in control. Me getting in control is just playing one day a week. That's what I developed 6 years ago. It took me 6 years to get even to where I am now, to where, my number one goal is not to play a race, find a race to play, but find reasons why not to play a race. It's like I'm an ex-driving instructor. And, I remember when I wasn't a driving instructor, and I look out into seeing how other people drive. And whenever you see somebody, driving badly, it's usually because they're on their phone, they're reaching for something in their car, but they're distracted. That's what gambling is. Gambling is a distraction. When you're playing live, that's how it is. It's driving while texting, or driving while being on the phone, or driving while you're rolling a joint, or driving while you're drinking. It's drunk driving. Gambling is drunk driving. When you gamble and you want to play all those races that you never intended to play, like for example, if you're playing today and you only planned on playing, later on today, and you have pick threes and pick fours, daily doubles, win bets, for the latter part of the card, but you start watching earlier, and then all of a sudden you get involved and you're playing the second race, the fourth race, the fifth race. You had no intention of playing those races, and you're down $400. You have to learn to get a black belt in the art of restriction. If you're not playing the race, don't open the racing form. If you're not playing the race, don't open the racing form. It's done. If you're not playing the race, don't look at it live until you're ready to play. These are all kung fu's that you have to develop. You have to get jockey weight. Jockey weight meaning that jockey weight meaning you have to get jockey weight. You got to get jockey weight, lean, mean, and a lean, mean machine. Where you shed off the things that you're not good at. Continually shed off the things that you're not good at. So my mantra, again, like I always say, is you can beat a race. You can beat a race. But you can't beat the races. You have to understand that, as a horse player, you have to understand that. And that's why as you play longer and longer, and again, I'm playing 7 years, you have to learn to get a black belt in the art of restriction. And again, I'm trying to tell you how to do that, but you can beat a race, and could you imagine it's the Derby that you beat? The Derby, the moment of perfection, if you're perfect on that day, but you only played the Derby. Don't play any other, just play the Derby. That's a good thing about being an old dude is your desire isn't as crazy as it was when you were younger. When you get older, you can mellow out. You can accept the fact that, you need to get a black belt in. I can't play like I used to play when I was younger. I can't play like I used to when I had more money. I can't play all these unplayable races because I think I have nothing else to do. I can't. You got to get a black belt, and I can't. I can't play any other day except for Saturday because I want to play too badly. I'm out of control. Again, do you come Do you come to play or do you come to be a winner? If you go to play, it's like driving drunk. If you go to be a winner, play one race, you're driving like a driving instructor ninja, looking at the mirrors, having a swivel head, constantly seeing everything. I almost got in an accident the other day. Last month. And if I wasn't paying attention and I was doing the drunk way of driving, so to speak, or playing with my phone or doing something stupid, I wouldn't be here. No doubt about it. And so I actually congratulate myself for being a smart dude. Because most horse players, one of the things they definitely have is a black belt in being a stupid motherfucker. I mean, just the fact that you're insane enough to be playing this game, you're a stupid motherfucker. That's one thing I realized as a person as I got older, 10 years ago, and then vividly now. It was horrible to be such a stupid motherfucker trying to play a game where only 5%, 10% people win. And actually never understanding that it's a game, never understanding the degree of uncertainty of the game as a young person. I never understood the uncertainty. I never was no math dude and knew how to calculate this and calculate that. No, instead, I just thought I could be a really good handicapper, put in the work, and everything would be good. All this horse racing information will get me these my desired end results, but they didn't, and that's why I do the Bullseye handicap, because 7 out of the 10 races you're gonna lose. 7 out of 10 times you're gonna go in the ring with Mike Tyson and get your motherfucking ass beat. And I did that for 50 years. That's why I don't show myself on the television. I'm fucked up. I got fucked up. And over the last 6 years, I'm healing. And I'm only trying to heal because I'm 70 and I want to go full circle. I walked through the fire, threw away my ego that I can win at this game, and said, let me just have enjoyable horse racing experiences. The other day, the other day we were just playing with my friend. I gave him a horse and told him, this horse, it looks good. I didn't think he'd win because he wasn't a win type, not even close. But I knew he'd be third and hoped he'd be second. And that's exactly where he was, second. And he came from last to get up to second. And, it's scripted. It's scripted exactly the way I visualized it in my mind. For me, that's a perfect moment. That's a perfect moment. And Bullseye handicapping is all about possibly attaining the perfect moment. Not through handicapping horse racing information, because I think horse racing information is useless. As John from Past Wire would say, put that. So now I'm just typing it. I can barely type. But when you learn that horse racing information, it's one of the thousands of tools that you need to use to navigate through horse racing. It's unbelievably insane experience. But I used to think it was the tool, the gun in my holster, so to speak. And if I made sure that I knew how to shoot it real good, I could hit the target. 50 years of no way. It just doesn't happen. And that's the insanity of being a horse player. The insanity of being a horse player is going back again and again and again and again. That's why I came up with Bullseye. And I had to stop. My ego is busted. I cannot beat the races. I cannot win at the races. that reality is the same as, the girlfriend in high school who said, I'm not, I can't see you anymore. I'm going out with Jimmy now. What? What? I can't see you anymore. I'm going out with Jimmy now. That's being a horse player. Being a horse player is, you know, I'm sorry, we don't need your services anymore. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's moments of brutality if you're an addicted horse player and addicted to handicapping horse racing information, thinking you're going to get a desired end result. That is not possible. The reason it's not possible is because if you hit it once, you're going to want more. And if you hit it again, you're going to want more. So you'll never stop. Again, like I said earlier, you get bitten by the snake in your right cheek. No doubt, as I told you, I got bitten in the left cheek by God. Got his bubble lips right on my left cheek, my little skinny white cheek. But, I had to get rid of the snake bite. I just wanted God's lips on my butt, not being an insane horse player. And that's why I want to go home. When I go home, which will be soon, I don't want to have no snake bit mark on my butt of being an insane horse player. And of course, it's my obligation to tell you that through whatever media I can, because I'm a horse player. I can't. I'm not in the world bubble. I'm invisible to the world. The world doesn't even know I exist. I'm gone. It wouldn't even be known for months. If I was gone, it wouldn't even be. If somebody paid my rent every month, uh, no one would even know. That's a horse player. That a horse player. That's how he goes out. There's no big funeral or anything like that. I see guys out there playing. There's one guy out there playing. I think it's a shake up. His experiences are very familiar to mine, and I feel bad for the guy because of the fact that you know the path is the same. Being an addicted horse player. You know, what it does to the possibility of having a family, um, having a wife. You know, somebody's doing something 75% of the time. The horses. What do you think your wife is doing that 75% of the time? You think she's just waiting there for you? That shit ain't happening. What do you think if your child doesn't get 75% of you because you're in the horse racing bubble 75% of the time? You got to, as a young person playing, you got to consider those things. These are called this conversation is called uh, taking your underwears off and showing your balls. It's a motherfucker. Never talked about. What's talked about is who's going to win the next race. What's talked about is who's the next selection for the next race. I'm still thinking about sovereignty and journalism. I'm not thinking about the next race. I'm thinking of that. I'm happy to hear Pollock say that journal that sovereignty and White Barrow might run again in the Stephen Forster in Saratoga, which makes me happy to think because now sovereignty is a little dirty. He's not gleaming anymore, so that means his price will go up, and we're also going to see the real sovereignty run a regular race. White Barrow's not going to beat him twice. There's no way. And that's what I think about. I don't have to, find another race to play on Friday, Wednesday, Monday. I don't have to do that. The nice thing is I can handicap a race, but I don't have to play it. I never could do that before. If I opened the racing form before, I had to play it. Now I'm getting to the point where I can open it, but I don't have to play a race. Just see what the mojo is. A year ago, I couldn't do that. I couldn't even open it. So I'm really happy with my progress. And I'll stop for now because I want to do other things. And anybody ever wants to say hello, my phone number is 475-279-5398. And nice to share each other's mojos. You gotta make sure I wrote that right. All right. Until next time, talk to you soon. Bye now.